Welcome to the Strategy Mob Podcast. Tune in for everything you need to know to stay in the know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
When we stop managing this strict 12-point process, all right, and we kind of let this free-flowing, let the customer kind of, I think of it kind of like, do you remember those, like, when I was a kid, I read those adventure books where it's like, you got up to a certain point in the book, and it's like, if you wanted him to go into the forest, go to page 162. If you want him to go into the swamp, go to page 79, right? And it's just feel like, that's kind of how, like, I see kind of the new process working. It's like, customer gets to a certain point, you just kind of, which way do you want to go? But it is going to take someone that is going to kind of manage the little things, to be able to kind of execute this type of process, because it's not so straightforward as it has been in the past.
I'm going to give you, and for the people that are listening to the podcast, I've worked with a number of dealers and dealt with a number of customer issues. And there's one thing that I think that they neglect to do. Too often you get into a standoff with the customer. And, the worst thing that can happen is you get into that standoff in the showroom or in the service department and other customers hear it and stuff like that. You got to de-escalate. So one of the things that I've learned, and I think it would be beneficial for anybody listening to actually incorporate into this as a process for handling irate customers, agree with them. Put a caveat, but a customer that approaches me with an issue, my first response is always, sir or ma'am, if what you're telling me is true, you have every right to be upset with us. What I'd like to do is ask you to come in, sit down so I can hear more about the experience. I'd like to take some notes so that I can handle it the right way. And if this is factual, and I hope you understand that I want to be able to talk with my consultant as well about what happened, but if everything you're saying is true, you can be rest assured we're going to take care of it. Can you come on into my office? It's over at that point in time, because what are they going to do? Are they going to yell at you for giving them the recognition that they're right? No, they might say, well, yeah, I'm going to come in because I want you to know exactly how bad it is. I understand. Let's come into my office so we can sit down, and I'd really like to hear exactly what happened. It's off the floor. It's in the office. But there's nothing wrong with saying, if what you're saying is true, because you're not saying you're right. You're not giving the customer the satisfaction of, admission that we've done something wrong. But if what you're saying is true, you have every right to be upset. And I want to fix it. So come on into my office. I'd like to take some notes. I want to get everything.
That's an awesome tip. I love that. That's so
We'll
perfect.
de-escalate things so much better in the showroom and get them into an office where you can shut the door and have and again, when I started with the Plaza Group, you talk about people admitting that they do things wrong. We had terrible Google ratings. Everything for the most part was, barely at 4 or below for the 5-6 stores. We called it out and we put 3, unconditional aspects of the business in place. One is treat people the way you want to be treated. Number 2 is the only failure is the failure to try. So if you want to help a customer out, you do everything you can to help a customer out. As long as the customer sees that you're trying to help them out, the answer can't be, yeah, no, we don't do that. Well, let me see what we can do. It should always be, let me see what we can do. And then the last one is, integrity matters. So be open and transparent with your customers. Don't try and mislead them, because they're going to find out. So we implemented that, and our Google ratings went up and up till every store was at 4 or higher. And, it was just putting pieces in place and using techniques like I just talked about, where we de-escalate customers. And I think that, fighting with a customer, arguing with a customer gets you nowhere. Understanding that they've got a concern and recognizing where you can have some middle ground will solve most of the problems. And I think we lack that in this business in a lot of cases. I think as we get better at doing that, it's going to make for a better environment and customer experience.
Thanks for tuning in to the Strategy Mob Podcast with your host, Jason Harris. Don't want to miss new content? Be sure to sign up to be a mobster at strategymob.com to stay in the know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.